Okay, so last session we have configured this path, match columns, match rule sets, primary key rules, and these things. So now we'll go through these properties a bit. Out of this, the first four properties, these four, properties, they are basically, these are just read-only properties, so they are not important. Okay, now here to here there are some important properties. First, maximum matches for manual consolidation. This is 1000. 1000 means the maximum number of records that can be queued for manual merge, that is 1000. So if it exceeds that, then the job will stop. See, let's say you're running something and this is what happened. Let's say you have total 5000 records. Out of 5000, 2000 resulted in auto merge, 1000 in uh, let's say 1500 resulted in manual merge, and remaining 1500 as accepted as unique because they are unique records. Okay, now we are talking about this property. This thing will impact this number, right? So the thing is, here the limit is 1000. Now you are crossing the limit, so what will happen? The job will stop once it reaches 1000. Once it reaches the 1000 figure, the job will stop. Okay, and what you need to do, you need to again manually merge the data. Once you do something, then basically I'll write the query. Right, simply this is the query. If let's CNT, if the thing is CNT cannot exceed, should always be less than 1000. That's the meaning of this figure. CNT should always be less than 1000. If it is more than 1000, job will stop. Right, so how to, if it reaches 1000, what you will do, you need to manually merge some records. Once you do it, then this count will decrease. If the count decreases, then you can rerun the job. Okay, the number of rows per match job batch cycle, this value is 10. Right, so it means that the number of rows, see, a matching process will not run in a single thread. There will be multiple cycles, just like you have bicycle. So using bicycle, you want to reach one place to another. So how many times your bicycle will roll, your wheel in bicycle? Multiple times. Same logic here, right? So if you have, this is 10, but I have 1000 records to match, right? And number of rows per match cycle is 10. Then how many cycles will I need to process 1000 records? I would need 1000 divided by 10, that is 100 cycles. Then more cycles, more performance issue. Less cycle, sorry, the cycle, I mean, 1 minute. See here, the logic is simple. See, when you have bicycle, if let's imagine that you have a very big tire, like the diameter of tire is very big, it means more rows in the group, then it's very easy. But if you have a kid's cycle with a very small tire, then it's like impossible right? So the same thing here also. So if this is more, performance is always better, right? So you can keep this 5,000, 10,000. Okay, no problem. But anything beyond that, what's the problem? What's the problem if I keep something like this? You can keep it, but the only thing is if you do something like this, then it will create, the job might fail. There won't be performance issue, but the job might fail. So normally we keep it 5,000, 10,000, depending upon your data volume. Okay. Accept all unmatched rows is unique. This parameter is no. Normally this should always be yes. What this does, I will practically show you. The thing is, if this is no, then if a record is merged, normally what you know that once a record is merged, it should become 1 consolidation indicator, 2 to 1. But that will only happen if this is yes. If this is no, it won't happen. You need to go and manually run one more job. That's a headache, right? So this would always be yes. And match strategy is, you can see here it's fuzzy, and you also have exact. Now when you have fuzzy, you can use both fuzzy and exact. Clear? When your match strategy is fuzzy, you can use both fuzzy and exact. So you will have a tokenization process, token fuzzy match key, all that. But if you make it exact, you can't use any fuzzy logic, any fuzzy, anything, any word of fuzzy at all. You can't use it. Will there be tokenization? No. Tokenization is only, it only makes sense for fuzzy. Does not make any sense for exact. So there will be no tokenization. Okay. And when we'll go for fuzzy, when we'll go for exact. Fuzzy is something that will go for fuzzy as a match strategy for the parent table. That is a party table, will go with fuzzy. But for child tables like address, contact, we'll go with exact. Why? You will see. Okay. Now fuzzy population, you can see that currently this is showing demo. Okay, but normally in your project this should never be demo. This should be a proper country name. So it's like this. See, for every country you have patterns specific to country, right? For example, you have in India, let's say you have Mumbai, you have also Bombay, and if you check, there will be 4 5 names of Mumbai, 4 5 names. You go to Kolkata, that's Kolkata, Calcutta, many things. So you always see different patterns, and you see many variation in pattern. Sometimes like in some states sing, right? And see, like there is, you will see that these are all local patterns specific to India. If you call a foreigner, then he will not be able to recognize this pattern. He will have no idea Mumbai, Bombay and all those things, right? So that pattern identification, special pattern related to a country will be stored in a file that's called as a population file. So if you go here, let's say if I connect, 1 minute, population file. So this is how the file looks like. For USA, it will be usa.ysp. For Netherlands, .ysp. It's a .ysp file, and it will be somewhere between less than, it will always be less than 20-30 MB, small file. Now this contains patterns specific to the country. Any special pattern specific to a particular country. Okay. Now let's say that I have these 3 files. How will I get the files? You need to request these files from Informatica. Let's say if your customer is a French customer, so you need to get this file from Informatica. If it's US, you can simply use this file. You go here, copy this, then you need to go to a particular location, InfoMDM hub, then cleanse, then resources, match here. So you need to put all these files here in this location. Your admin will do that. So once it does it, then you need to go to the database. There is a backend table, class 3. There is a backend table called as C repos SSA population. This table you need to go, and let's say for US Canada I would like to enable it. So just say update. I think I can just do it here. So US Canada, just go here, and this indicator just make it 1 minute, trying to change it. Okay, 1 second. If not, I can change it here also. Data US Canada. For US Canada, just make it 1 comment, right? And save it, commit it. Okay, so done. Now you need to restart the server. So once you restart the server, which I'll not do it now, but I'll do it after the class. So once I restart the server, then if you go and just check it, let's say if you go and check this, you can check it later also, then you will see this, that when you click on here, okay, so you can see that now it's coming. But even if it is coming, still it won't work until unless you restart, right? So now I can choose US Canada demo. Demo is normally not used, so normally it's always better that you disable the demo. Okay, so US Canada, right? So that's the fuzzy population. So if your thing is based in US business customers, you choose US. Canada. Let's say you have mix up, you have Canadian as well as American customers mix up, then what will you do? See, you have Amit Singh. Now this guy is, let's say, India. You have Frank Mueller, so this guy is German, and you have John Smith. Now this guy is from USA. So I have three people from three different countries. So now let's say, like, how to handle this particular thing. To handle that, the procedure is you need to create a column called as sip_pop in base object. So in base object, you just create a column named as sip_pop, and using either ETL mapping or Informatica mapping based on the address, right? You can create a condition that if address is India, then you populate India for sippop. In sippop column, you populate India, INDIA. For Frank Mueller, you populate it as Germany. For John Smith, USA. It means that the objective is, I'm talking about C_party. Okay, here I should have a column. I should create a column here. It's called as sippop, and the data is, for an American guy it should be America, or for whatever country guy, that should be that country name. So that is how you configure the multiple population. Okay, that's how the multiple population configuration is done. And then I have match only previous row ID objects. This will improve the performance, but you will miss the matches. So normally this two option is never used. And dynamic match analysis threshold, this is also in production, this is never used. In development you might want to use it. What this does is this puts a limit on the total number of match pairs that can be created, right? Let's say you are running a job. Now you have no idea how many match pairs will be generated. It could be 1,000, 10,000 or anything, right? So let's say if it is 1 million match pairs, then your job might take almost like 2 days to run, right? So you can put a limit here. Let's say if I put it at 10,000. So if your job is creating 10,000 match pairs, it will fail more than 10,000. Okay, that's what this thing means, right? Dynamic match analysis threshold. In only in development you might want to use it. Save it. This property should be yes actually. Okay, then right. So that's it. That's the configuration on the party table. Now let's run this to see the tokenization process. So go here, and before that, first of all, check the party table. In party table, I should have 4 entries, but these 2 entries I just created it. What I'll do is I'll just delete these 2 entries. Let me check how many records are there in the here. C underscore ADDR. This is fine. C underscore contact is also fine. I think contacts. Right. So I have just a small problem. The problem is I would like to delete these 2. So to delete records, you have to use SIF. Using SIF. So SIF is something that you will learn later, but just see how that's done. So create table T as select row ID. You need to select the row ID xref from C underscore party underscore xref where row ID okay. I've created a table. Now I need to execute this execute batch delete SIF API. This SIF API. That's the objective, the idea. So go here, and this is T party, this is class 3, run it. I can see 2 records got deleted. So the unnecessary information is gone now. Okay, right? So that's how this SIF is used. Execute batch delete. This is called as hard delete. Hard delete, not hard delete detection. Hard delete detection is soft delete. But hard delete is, this is how hard delete is done. Right? Alright, now let's see this in action. So these are the steps. You already know the steps. That is, first the consultation indicator is already 4, so I need to do something called as tokenization, and once done I need to run the match, then I need to run the merge. Okay, in tokenization, first let's check the tokenization, how it works. So let me remove all that. Tokenization. So we'll see the tokenization process now. How the tokenization works. Data, I already have records with consultation indicator as 4, so you can check it that the consultation indicator is 4. So now I can run the match and merge, the tokenization. To run the tokenization, go here and batch viewer, then I have something called as generate match tokens. So generate match tokens, click on that and right click and say execute it. That will generate the match tokens. So refresh, done. So the logs, 4 records got tokenized. 4 records were tokenized, right? So now let's do the impact analysis. Tokenization, total tables, impacted tables, non-impacted. I'll just say total tables and just say impacted tables. Total tables means C underscore party, whatever you know, C underscore AD party underscore xref. Then I have C underscore ADDR, C underscore contacts. Then I have C underscore party underscore strp, then C underscore party underscore match, C party HMRG. Let's do an impact analysis on all these tables. So first, I ran the tokenization process. What is the change in my party table? Let me check. Do you see any change here in the last update date? I don't see any change. Its last is 14th. So there is no change in this, right? Cross reference. Let me check. Is there any change in the last update date? No change. It means that tokenization will not impact the base object and the cross reference. Clear? It will not impact. So this too not impacted. What about address and contacts? Definitely I don't need to check, but I'll just show you that there is no change in the address table also. So see here, no change in the address table. So what is the impact? Zero impact, no impact. So till here, zero impact. Nothing has changed, right? Now talking about the strp table. This table was earlier blank. Now you will see data here. So this is impacted. This table got impacted. Okay. If you check it, see here. First, let's study this table. Let's study this. Total 28 rows are there. For every record, I have how many tokens? 7 tokens. For every row ID object, every record, I have 7 tokens. 7 tokens got generated. Alright, and this is how the tokens look like. RVBGFRO minus something like that. That's how the token looks like, right? And you can see here for every record 7 tokens, 7 tokens, 7, 7. Alright, now if any token is common for 2 records, you see here between 2 and 4 these two token is common, and between 1 and 3 you see that this two token is common. So since the token is common, a match pair will be formed. Clear? Understood? Between 1 and 3 you see these two are common, right? Token, these two same. So that's why a match pair will be formed between 1 and 3. Okay, you see that again one more token is common, doesn't matter. If one is common, that's okay. You don't need to check for multiple. One is enough. So the result of strp, the match tokenization, is I have two match pairs, 1 and 3, and I have 2 and 4. Two match pairs I have. Right? Now can I play around this? Like currently 28 tokens, 7 tokens for each record. So if I go and play around here, let's say I will change some of the options. This is standard. Let me make it extended. and say OK and run the tokenization. So check now. How many records you see here? 30. So now I have 30 tokens. It means that for some records it has created 7 tokens. So you can see here 1, 2, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for these two, 8 tokens, these two, 7 tokens. That makes it 30. Now why 8 for some, 7 for some? Because if you see, for this guy the address is slightly longer. Just see here, Madhapur, Hyderabad, India, right? So if I copy that, this is the address for this guy, and for this guy the address is this. Ah. Do you see that this is slightly longer? That's the reason why Informatica decides to go with more tokens. Okay, now if I make it like limited, then you will see the total 3 tokens will be generated. Now this is not fixed anyway, that depends upon the length, but in my case it will be 3. So total 12 tokens. 12 tokens. Again I'm telling you, this is not a fixed number, depends upon the length of the string, right? And if I make it like preferred, it's just 1 token. So this is like exact matching only. So you run it, see here, just 1 token for a record, right? That's what is the concept of tokenization. Okay, see here. Now there is one more table also, that's called as the dirty table. DRTY. So this is already gone data from here, I believe. Dirty table is normally populated when you load the data. Okay, so now you will not see anything here. It will be gone. It will be blank. Okay, so when you load the data, you can check it. So when you load the data, then you will see that the Informatica will record insert 4 records here. So this table is a table, dedicated table, that will contain records for which tokenization is needed, for which tokenization is necessary. Those entries will be here. Okay, and impact analysis, only impacted table is your, what is the thing, strp table and dirty table. So strp table will be populated, dirty table will be depopulated, entries removed, deleted once tokenization is done. So tokenization process has only 2 things, strp, dirty. Remaining nothing is impacted. Clear on the tokenization side? If you're clear, then we can move ahead to the next thing, that is the matching. So in matching side also we'll do an impact analysis on the tables. So yeah, let's analyze all these tables one by one when we are doing the matching. So to do the matching, there is something called as a match job. Actually, tokenization job you don't need to run separately. If you run the match job, it will also call the tokenization. Clear? When you run a match job, it calls the tokenization also. So you don't need to run it separately. But why I did it? Because I want to show you step by step what happens. And this is the job for the merge. And if I run auto match merge, all the 3 things, tokenization, match, merge, Again, I'm telling you, tokenization, match, merge, all the three things will be kicked off from a single job. And that also I can configure in the batch group in such a way that if I go to the batch group, then if I just right click one job, then all the jobs should start one by one. Staging, load, match, merge. Okay. Go here, run the match job, match for party. All right. But before doing that, let's check all these tables. You know all these tables. So what do you know about this? What is the change? No change, no change. So you know most of the tables. So let's run it. First of all, I would like to show you this party match table. How many records are there? Let's check this. 0. If you check HMRG 0, dirty is only involved in tokenization. So I'm removing that. It has nothing to do with later stages. So only tokenization. HMRG 0 entries and match table 0 entries. STRP entries are there and you know this. Let's run it. Execute. I'm getting an error. No match rule set exists for party. Slightly strange because party there is a match rule set. So why it is saying okay, choose, you have multiple, right? So you choose the one match party. I will delete this because I don't want that. So by default it picks this. Oh sorry, I deleted a wrong one. That's okay, I'll just quickly create it. So address, person name, date of birth, gender. That's my person name and typical, say okay and make it auto. And one more, let me open the document. Alright, date of birth, gender, first name. So let's do it fuzzy. First name, date of birth, gender, and this thing is fields. Okay, then I have email ID, fax number, phone number. So this is exact. Email ID, fax number, phone number. Sorry, phone number. Then the fourth one, postcode, gender, phone number. Postcode, gender, phone number. And this one is exact. What if I make it fuzzy? Let's try it. It does not throw any error, but there will be performance issue. So don't do that. If it's exact, choose exact. Save that. Now I have a match rule set. So I can go and run my job, right click, execute. Refresh. Looks like it's done. Alright. So here I go. The result. Match record is 2. Queued for auto merge is 2. Now I have how many records? 4 records. Now why do I see matched records is 2 and queued for auto merge is 2? I have 4 records, that's correct. But how many match pairs I have? I have 2 match pairs, right? 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 2 match pairs. So that's why I have this result is showing as 2 because 2 records got matched with 2 pairs got matched with each other. That's what it is showing, right? And they were queued for auto merge, not manual. They were queued for auto. Why? Because they met the first rule. So this first rule, they met the first rule, and first rule is auto, so they went for auto. Imagine, let's say they would have met the second one, so that would have gone for manual. Very simple logic. All right. Okay, let's do impact analysis. Party table. What's the impact? Let's check it. Party table. Is there any impact? Of course. You can see the last update date got changed. 8:35. So all four records were impacted. So all the records were impacted. What is the impact? You check the data. Do you see anything got changed in the data? Do you feel like anything got changed? No, nothing. Except the consolidation indicator, which was earlier 4, it's now 2. So 4 to 3, 3 to 2. Why you can't see the 3? Why don't you see the 3? You can't see the 3 because that happens internally. So that's the reason why you will not see 3. It happens very quickly and internally. Right? 4 to 3, 3 to 2. So that's the only impact in the party table. So impacted tables? Yes, party got impacted. What about the cross reference of party? Let's check it. Is there any impact? Just go and check the last update blindly. No impact. So cross reference table, no impact. Clear? Address table, can I expect something? Let's see, what can I expect? No change. So child tables are never impacted by the merge or tokenization. Sorry, by the tokenization or the match job. Child will be impacted only during the merge. Only during the merge, which we will see soon. But here, only party table is impacted. STRP, can I expect anything? Let's see. Nothing. It means that STRP is a permanent table. Means it's not a truncate load table. So STRP table will persist, will survive. It's not truncated. It's permanent table. It will be stored. Normally you will see in your production, this will contain millions of records. This will be one of the largest tables in your system. STRP table. Millions is quite common here. Alright. STRP, then I have, so no impact STRP. Now the most important table here in the match is the match table. That is MTCH table. This will be impacted. Let's check it. Impacted? Yes, impacted. So I have two entries. Two entries got created. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1 got matched with 3, 2 got matched with 4. Alright, and they were auto merged. I mean they were queued for auto merge. So that's why you can see this as 1. Let's imagine that they would have gone for manual. So this would have been 0. Auto merge indicator would have been 0 here. Okay, and you have something like let's say I want to find out which match rule. I have 4 match rules, right? So I want to find out which match rule resulted in this match. Then you need to join this table with C repos match table, match rule table, and then C repos match rule set. 3 tables. I think I'll directly have the query. 1 second. I'll give you the query. Yeah. So this is the query. This query tells me that the rule number 1, I have 4 rules, rule number 1, and it's based on the person name. So rule number 1, what is my rule number 1? This is my rule number 1. You can check it here, rule 1. And it's based on what? Person name. So that's how you can identify. Okay, so this query I am sending it to everyone. If you want to save, you can save it. And in interviews also, this is quite common question, like how to identify. You can just remember the query. All right, so match table is impacted. What happened is two entries got created in the match table. About HMRG table, you can check it. No impact in HMRG table. So HMRG table, no impact. All right, that's what is the match process. So the only impacted tables are this table and the match table. That's it. I have the party table, I have the match table. That's the process of matching. Only two tables will be impacted. Party, match table, nothing else. Okay. Then we have the, if you have any doubts on the match process, you can ask, because now I'll be moving to the merge. Let me copy paste this. Now the merge process. Let's do an impact analysis on the merge table. Merge is important and you will see the most of the tables will be impacted now. Most of the tables, not most, all except STRP table will be impacted. Why STRP table is not impacted? Because it's a permanent table. Except that everything else is impacted. Let's check it. So go here, run this merge job. Just go here, execute it. Refresh. Takes some time. The reason is this is a database operation. So done here. Auto merged record is 2 or accepted as unique record is 2. Two records were auto merged and two records were accepted as unique. Right? Auto merged and accepted as unique. Now why do you see two records were auto merged? Why? Because I have two match pairs, isn't it? I have 1 and 3, that's one match pair. I have 2 and 4, that's another match pair. So that's why I can see 2 here. Auto merged record is 2. Right? And I have accepted as unique record is 2. What is that? What does it mean? See, 1 and 3 are duplicates. 2 and 4 are duplicates. Now when you merge 1 and 3, you have one record. When you merge 2 and 4, you have one record. So finally you have two surviving records. Now those two surviving records are unique records, right? Those two surviving records are unique records. So that's why those records were accepted as unique records. This property is coming as 2 because uh, you have set this as yes. Let's say if this would have been no, then you would have seen 0 here. In that case, you need to go to the merge manager and run one more job. That's a headache. In production, this should always be yes. Right? So now let's do the impact analysis. So first, party table. What can I expect? Something huge. See here. What is the impact? Records were merged and consolidation indicator is 1. Clear? Records were merged. As a result, what happened is two duplicate record it was removed. So the duplicate was removed here. You can see here. I have only the unique, no duplicates anymore. Alright, that's the impact in the party table. Right? Now, what is the impact in the XREF table? in the xref table, if you remember this was what? This was 1, 2. If I sort, got hanged. 1 minute. Party, we're talking about the xref table. So in the xref table, what is the impact? If you remember properly, then if you remember, then you will see that earlier this was 1, this was 2, this was 3, this was 4. You can also see that here. So original row ID object, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Earlier it was this is what was there in the row ID object, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is 3, 4, 3, 4. So what happened? What happened here? 1, 2. Here 1 was updated with 3. 2 was updated with 4. So 1 was updated with 3, 2 was updated with 4. Okay, as a result you can see this is now 3, 4, 3, 4. And if I sort that, then you will see that this is called as a key ring, or this is what is called as a cross reference. That is, for this record, that is for this guy, for this record row ID object 3, I have two references here. Okay, one is coming from CKR, one is coming from MLO, right? And you can see that here one is Amit Mishra, another one is Mishra Amit. Let's say that a particular user, sorry, a particular customer is coming from 8 source systems, 8. Then how many entries you will see here? So this is currently 2. How many entries would be there? 8. There will be 8 entries with the same row ID object. That is called as a key ring, or that's called as a cross reference. So that was the impact in the you can see here that, just let me go to the last update date. See here, only these two record got updated, whereas this record and this record, no, it did not get updated, right? So that was the impact on the cross reference table. Clear? Cross reference table, that was the impact. Now, do you understand why this change was happened? Why this change happened? Why Informatica has replaced this, which was earlier 1? Why Informatica has replaced this with 3, or updated with 3? And why this was updated from 2 to 4? Because 1 and 2, they are not valid anymore. 1 and 2, they are not valid anymore because they were already merged. They are merged, so they are gone. They are gone from the story. They are merged. So since they are not valid, so that's why you can't see that here. So Informatica automatically updates it. The reason is this is a foreign key, right? So in my party table, in my address also, you will see something, that is what got impacted. You can see 2 records got impacted, got updated. These 2 remains the same. These 2 got updated. Why? Just see here. 3, 4. Earlier this was 1, 2. Earlier this was 1, 2. Now this is 3, 4. Why? Because it's a foreign key, so Informatica updated it. Clear? 3, 4, 3, 4. And if you go to the contacts, same thing. 3, 4, 3, 4. Alright, so that's the change in the, so I'll summarize this 3 tables because all of them, all these 3 are the child table of party. So something happened in all the three tables, and that is same. I mean, a similar kind of change happened in all these three tables, and that is the foreign key was updated. In this case, it was the party ID. In here, it's the row ID object that was updated. That's the impact on the three child tables. Talking about strp, I'm not going to show it because there is no impact, but still, let's see. So strp, no impact as it is. All right, now talking about the match and these two, now let's try to understand these two tables. If I go and check the match table, data gone. So match table is empty now. Do you understand something? What is match table? Match table is not a junkyard. Match table is a dedicated table which will store the result of the matching. Now if you merge the record, it will be removed from this match table. Clear? So what I have done, I have merged the records in my match table. So that's why you saw that two records were deleted. In fact, they were not deleted, they went to here, this table. If you check that, that's a copy paste of the match table. So this is a copy paste of the match table. Whatever you have in the match table was copied here. It means that, do you understand? Let's say that I have run my match. So what will happen? Let's say only I have run my match. So what will happen? I will have two entries here. Let's say what I did now is I ran my merge job. But let's say that only one record was auto, one was manual. One was auto, queued for auto, one was manual. So what will happen now? What will happen? One record will be automatically merged. So that record will be removed from match table and it will go to the HMRG table. What about the other record that is queued for manual merge? That will still remain in the match table. So match table is like a queue. So you stand in a queue, not a first in first out, but a priority basis queue, VIP queue. So whoever gets the meal, he moves out from the queue. Gets the meal means whoever gets the merge treatment is removed from this match table. That is the impact on the match and the HMRG table. Clear? So that was impacted on the these two tables. That explains the impact on all these tables. Match table, HMRG table. Right? So that would complete the tokenization match merge. That is the load tokenization match merge, the complete cycle of a record in MDM. So, right? So basically the objective of MDM in my party table is met. That is, I have succeeded in creating a golden record in MDM. So the final record that is created is called as the golden record, right? So that is fine. But what about the child table? Now, if I talk about the child table here, so in my child table, see here. So still I have duplicates, still duplicates. So what was impacted? Only the party ID was got impacted. So what I will do now is I will use this information to do match and merge. So I have two options. I can go with exact matching or I can go with fuzzy matching. So what I can do is I can try to do a fuzzy matching this with this and identify and then remove that. I can do that. I can fuzzy match this with this with this. Or else what I can do is I have a better thing. I can use this party ID. Using party ID, I will match this with this with this. So I think this is a better method, and normally this is what is used in any company. So I will just create one, my whole matching will be based on just party ID. That's it. Exact matching party ID. And that's enough. So if 3 is equal to 3, these two will be merged, match and merge. 4 is equal to 4, these two are match and merge. So let's try to configure that. To configure this, go here and go to the address, match and merge setup, and see, you change this to exact. Change this to exact, and this is yes, right? Do I need to configure path? No, I don't need to configure path. Why? I just need party ID and it's already there in this table. Why would I configure path? Match columns? Just observe one thing. Do you see tokenization key here? Option, fuzzy match key and all that? It's gone. So you can't configure tokenization because it's exact match. Now configure only one thing, that's the party ID, and say that it's the party ID. Alright. Then just one match rule set, and that's match ADDR. One match rule, just one match rule, that is based on party ID. That's it. Very simple. Just one match rule based on party ID, and it's make it auto and save it. And that's all about the configuration of the address. It just took less than 2 minutes to do it. And one more property, cascade unmerge. Cascade unmerge means when you unmerge the parent, child is automatically unmerged, right? So just remember here I am making it yes, while for the contact I'll make it no, and this one is exact, and remaining things are same. Sorry, the party ID, match contacts, party ID, same what we've done earlier, and this one is auto. Then here cascade unmerge, save it. Normally you should always choose the cascade unmerge, very helpful, right? Now if I see here for contacts, this property is no, for address this is yes. Now let's run the match and merge for address. So what I can do is I can just go here and I can do it here. So this will run the match merge tokenization match merge. Anyway, tokenization is not used, otherwise you would have run it. So this is done. 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 So this is done. This is done. Okay. So if I go and check the address table, refresh. So here I go. Address consolidation indicator is 1. The duplicate is removed. Right? Duplicate is removed. And if I check the address, the contacts, just see the thing. So here also it is removed, but there is a problem. The problem is consolidation indicator is 2. That's the only problem. Why? Because that property is no. So what I need to do here, there is a separate job. You need to go to the merge manager and you need to run something to make this 1. Okay. So that's what is the matching for the party, address, contact. Right? You have any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay, so if you have no doubts, you go through this and you try to configure the matching for the party, address, contact, right? And we'll discuss tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, in case of manual merge,
Right.
we have like a C party merge and C party match, no?
Right.
In case of auto merge, match will be removed and it will be merged. In merge, the data will be in both the data will be removed.
In case of auto merge, data will be removed from the match table and it will go to HMRG table.
Okay, in case of
No,
auto
no,
match.
see, first of all, it doesn't matter if it is auto or manual. The process is you have a match table, then you have a HMRG table. Let's say in match
Yeah.
table I have 100 records. Okay, now let's say I have decided to merge 70 records. Merge 70 records. So when I merge 70 records, 70 records will be moved from the match table to the HMRG. Moved from the match to the HMRG table. So now the match
What
table,
about remaining
it will stay
remaining 30?
30. 30 will be there in the match table. It will remain in the match table forever until unless you manually merge them.
Okay, okay. So how to do again manually means like we need to run some other process or like.
No, you have to do it in IDD. So you can do it in IDD, or what you can do is you can change the auto merge indicator from 0 to 1. So you can change the auto merge indicator 0 to 1 and then you can just go and run the auto merge job.
Okay, okay,
Two options. Or using SIF also you can do it.
okay.
Okay,
So the unmatched records, the remaining records in match table should be done by using by changing the indicator. Then we have to run this one.
correct.
Okay, okay. Thank you for this.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Sunil, while you are deleting a record from C40, right, using SIP, you have moved, I mean, you have created a separate table and then you have
Yeah, that is the procedure
deleted the
actually.
newly created.
That is
Okay,
that is
okay.
how the procedure is.
Hmm. So how it is impact C40 table? Because we are not deleting anything on C40 table, right? Then how did it impact the C40 table? How it deleted? Because of you created a separate table altogether to create the new records, two records, but you deleted only the T table, the temporary table. But while showing it is deleted from the C40 table, right? How that link is happening?
That's what, right? So see, in here it will check the T table. T table will contain two records. Now that two records, it will check in the party cross reference table, and it will delete these two
Okay.
records in the party cross reference table and the party
Okay.
table.
Can't we use that the C40 table instead of creating that we are moving the recording temporary and then from there joining all the
No, no,
stuff?
no.
Can't we able to
That
use
is
it?
how this Informatica has designed this safe API. You must create a temporary table.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
But for your side, what you can do is for learning when you're doing, you don't need to do this. You can directly delete the
Mhm.
data from the party and the cross reference. So you delete it from the party as well as cross reference. That is not a safe method, but that will work.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, one more question is the last case while creating in a match key, right? So we could able to see only the two table, one is party and then address. In case I want to create a match key and the contract table, a contacts table, then how do we do that?
No, that you
The
can't.
option.
You can do only on contact columns or on address column or on party, because you can see that this is, you can't select more than like from multiple tables you can't select. So that's a restriction. So let's
So
say
how do
this
I
one.
select a preferred table actually? Instead of address, I want to go with contact.
So yeah, so you can go with contact here. So you go here and choose contacts here.
No,
Then
the
you
key,
can,
I'm talking about the key side actually. This is a
yeah, that's
match
what
column side
I'm
actually.
talking about, the key only. The address part one, that's the fuzzy match key. So that you can change to contacts using the match path. Using this, you can switch to the different tables.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks guys. Bye.